Hello everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Career Compass, in which we are bringing in professionals from different fields of career with real life conversations, real discussions, and real challenges involved. जब भी हम छोटे होते हैं तो हमसे पूछा जाता है कि आप बड़े होकर क्या बनना चाहोगे एंड हर क्लासरूम का एक आंसर होता है बहुत ब्यूटीफुल डॉक्टर। तो आज हम उसी प्रोफेशनल को यहाँ लेके आए हैं जो बहुत ही one of the most respected professions I believe that is there. We have with us Dr. Ritu Gupta, Senior Pediatrician from Raghunath Hospital. Ma'am, we heartily welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Shilpa Miglani, Narang, for starting these wonderful opportunities and starting this kind of podcast for all of them. And I would like to thank you for coming today.
You're most welcome, ma'am. Ma'am, before we begin the podcast, I would like to ask you a question. What if we keep all your degrees aside and अगर हम आपसे थोड़ी देर के लिए आपका white coat ले लें, तो who actually Ritu Gupta is?
See, here's a wonderful one because initially when I started my journey as a student, so I wanted to be an ITDC officer, and but somewhere down the line, my sister said that one person in the family at least one should be a doctor, so that the whole perspective changes and we can bring around a lot of changes in the society. So that's why she encouraged me, and I had taken science on her behest. So over the time, as the years passed by, even if I am associated with the doctor, but I started liking this career so much because I'm a pediatrician. I deal with children all the time. So rather, I say as I die as a doctor, I would not like to bargain with this white coat. Had it been very early in my life, I could have tried for an IPS, but not today.
Okay. Lovely answer, ma'am. Very, very nice. Ma'am, there are a lot of viewers who are watching us जिनको पता भी नहीं है कि बच्चे को डॉक्टर को pediatrician बोलते हैं ना। तो आप थोड़ा सा बताएंगे हमारे viewers के लिए what actually pediatrics is all about?
Yeah, pediatrics starts from as soon as what is pediatrics is a specialization after MBBS. So we have to do an MD in specialization in children. So this is the child specialist, and that is called pediatrician, which we happily I am. So it starts with newborn taking his or her first breath, and start from the journey starts in the mother's womb actually. So we are there right there to receive the newborn in this world, and immediately we tend to resuscitation of the newborn. So that's how, and it goes on till 18 years of age till they are adolescents and ready to be launched in the next arena of their lives.
Lovely, ma'am. So nice. Ma'am, a lot of students who come to me, they say, ma'am, we want to become a doctor. So could you please, though I guide them, but once it is coming from the real life hero. So what it takes to become a doctor, how they should start, and what are the entrance exams. It will be greatest to come from.
So, for only becoming a doctor, I say it starts from very early in the life, say around when the child goes to a preschool. So the parents, they keep on telling, we have to make this child a doctor or an engineer or a teacher. So what I will suggest the parents, that don't be too enthusiastic, don't be too hurried in some kind of this thing. Make a nice atmosphere in the house so that the child has a good atmosphere to study, and for his nutrition, say about his education. So it starts there. Then when they cross their 10th standard, they have to choose from one stream from the other streams also. So, being a doctor means a lot of responsibility and a long career spanning around, I would say, decade. Now, these days, more than a decade, say a decade and another half to reach a specialization and then super specialization if it involves like that. So, a child has to be prepared right from the very beginning. From the home and from not very expectations from a very kind of I'll say a good interaction with the parents, with the teachers, with the career counselors like you. They can make up their mind because that's a long journey. And one should not even, if one wants to become a doctor and make a difference in the society, so that is wonderful. That is a wonderful approach because so many medical colleges are there these days. And I would rather say that children should not be, there's an examination called NEET. Then that's the entrance. You have to clear your 12th standard, then you have to take this exam NEET, which kind of involves marks which are also a percentile based. So that depends on the whole year and what kind of format has been given to the students. So only with this approach that we have to clear the NEET is not sufficient. We have to be committed. We have to be really, really persistent. For example, you cannot clear the NEET in the first go. Doesn't matter. You should not be relying only on the management or the PACs. So you should always try to follow your passion, follow your dream, however long it takes. Because ultimately, if you don't stop trying, you're going to succeed. And that's for sure.
Absolutely right. So all the students, parents, educators who are watching this podcast today, ma'am raised a very, very valid point that the journey of the doctor, it starts from the very early age. It starts right away with the parents, giving the right atmosphere to the children, guidance. In case anybody would wish to become a doctor, they have to clear MBBS first. For that, there is an entrance exam known as NEET. In plus 1 and plus 2, 11th and 12th, you have to take science with biology and then start preparing for this competitive exam. And after clearing it, there are a lot of colleges, good colleges, depending upon your percentile, you can get admitted.
There are three kinds of counselings, first, second, third. Okay. So, with so many medical colleges coming, so the children have great chances of becoming doctor these days. Rather, I'd say there are some colleges which the seats go vacant because of the so much high fee structure, right? Which is all of the day. Because, but there's also myths that the doctor requires a lot of money. But I will say, if you are very true to yourself and if you are ready to do all the hard work and take the exams maybe a year or more than 2 years, third attempt, fourth attempt, but still the colleges, the government colleges, they can become, for example, AIMS, All India Institute of Medical Sciences. The education is less than what a graduate BA will do.
Absolutely.
So the fee structure in the the government sector, it is very less. But the chances of entering a medical college is very high because of so many medical colleges coming up in all the states.
So now, as a layman, we feel that doctor's journey begins by going to hospitals, meeting the patients, and then coming back. What the life like day 24/7? How do you see your day as a doctor? Let your journey start in the morning and by what time you sleep. I just want to know your whole routine basically.
It's a doctor's life actually. I'll say for myself, but majority we start very early. We get up in the morning, very early in the morning before the sunrise. So this is another my suggestion. I'll say I'm not trying to sound so preachy, but my suggestion to all the children who have to appear these competitive exams to get up early in the morning, to have their 6 to 8 hours sleep time. Sleep is very important for rejuvenating your mind and thinking in the right direction, in having the right approach. So once you are sorted, because then you have to go to early to bed. There are basics. Early to bed, early to rise.
Makes the person
So this happens to the doctors, which we are there because we slept peacefully and then they got up very early. is a typical life is this, we have to space our day, manage our day. Because 24/7 the patients call because of the pediatric duties, the mothers and the children, they don't tell you and they don't see the time, what time they are
And then
calling.
they just pop in any time or
Pop in, messages, parents are all very, worried, I would say, very concerned, very anxious, hyper anxious. And sometimes they rub their anxiety to the children. So for every small thing, they call the doctor, which is obvious. So we have to be very patient with them, very polite with them. So our day starts, we just keep on keeping a cool mind. Every doctor does some kind of yoga, meditation in the morning because it is a long day and we have to deal with all the kinds of patients. And patients they come with a natural problem because the doctor is to answer and should have an affable nature. Thankfully, yes, but we kind of want to live up to that expectations. Sometimes doctors are also human beings. But as a pediatrician, I can say about myself, I have this wonderful feeling, wonderful connect with my children and their mamas or dadis or dadas, anyone, nannies. So for me, making a connection with either of the parent or the child is very important. Half the battle is won when you are connected with them. They have the feeling that they are being heard. Just they don't have to, they're just not a commodity that they tell me their problems, I write in medicine. That is again amazing. We were told how not to write in medicine.
Beautiful. We see, ma'am, a lot of doctors just giving me medicines. So, ma'am is coming up with a very beautiful thing. How not to write you medicine?
That's I keep on telling because my boss, Dr. Ritu Gupta, used to say that should be the training. You are certified to write medicine, but it is your foremost thing how to avoid that. Because if the child needs it, then one has to go eventually. But these days, the parents are, they're treating their children, self-medication is happening, over-the-counter drugs are, available. So everybody knows and they are, this chat usually has come in a big way. They all follow some kind of suggestions from somebody, reading literature. Sometimes they tell them that they have to see who is giving those inputs. What kind of degree they have. True. So these things, these matter. So the doctor's duty is only, my duty is to counsel, to reassure, to hear them out, and to make a connect with the child's mother, who is living in the child 24/7. So if the mother says something is happening with the child, and that whatever moment the child appears to be normal, but I will rather go listen to the mother. Because I am seeing the child for that 5 to 6 minutes. But she is staying with the child for say 24/7. So she understands, and I have to understand her mind as well. We just cannot say, okay, this fever, okay, take this, take that, or take some antibiotic. They've already given that. So the job of pediatrician is to kind of making them unlearn what they have learned already. And then connect to us.
So you're not just playing the role of a doctor, it is a counselor, somebody who is listening, guide, mentor, and then ma'am is, finally, in case medicine is required,
then only I will give. And sometimes the home remedies also work.
So small
babies. Definitely. Because the home remedies, some things are self-limited. Most of the children in the first year of life, if they listen to the doctor by breastfeeding the child in the first 6 months exclusively, the child is going to have a very good immune system and a very good IQ. There's so much of this ADHD, so much of autism happening. So we have come to this conclusion that the screen time, the sleep time, and the peer pressure, and the family's unwanted, I'll say, expectations, their anxieties, they are not set, the goals which were not met, that is being rubbed off the children.
Right.
So we have to take into consideration and then be compassionate enough to explain it to the parents.
Yeah, and there are a lot of doctors who don't even listen. So I think listening is the best medication.
Listening
to your patient
is one big art. If you are a good listener, your job is done.
No, but as you rightly said, a lot of people, like these days, everybody become very impatient.
Yes.
With the passage of time. So whenever in case child is the little baby is having fever, they come and say, "Ma'am, बस आप medicine लिख दो." फटाफट है ना? तो वो आप कैसे handle करते हैं those situations?
वो भी करते हैं because the mother is stressed out. She has not slept the night. The child is struggling. If she has two children, she has to send one child to school as well. And then she has to finish her duties as a wife also. So she is multitasking, and if she is working too, that is a lot of stress. Nobody wants to waste one day, and nobody wants to make the child more sick. So their anxiety is kind of genuine. But if we play on to their anxiety, we add up to those anxieties rather than processing it, reducing it, we're adding up. Right. So that again, that is a doctor's gentleman. How to hear her out. Sometimes the fathers they start crying, not only mothers. They are so stressed out because they have to go to the meeting and their boss is yelling at them. The child is not well.
So all the things are coming.
And the maid who is looking after the child is not well. So these things they all add up to the young parents' worries, and then as they grow older, the children also are going to the bigger classes, the higher classes, lot of stress, some kind of scare in the public that we are going to spend a lot of money making a doctor is not easy. Then not for the girls, you not find the right matches. It is not like that.
They all are mixed. In fact,
they are all mixed. Sometimes they're true also with business forms or something, but then it is your approach. Like if you had kind of this thing in your mind that you have to become an astronaut or something. So it's not as if you start from the day one. You reach there, you study, then you start finding, doing some research kind of thing. So sometimes your success is measured in say 2 years or 3 years. And if you are measuring success in say years or some kind of emolument savings, like you have made 10 lakh rupees, so you are successful. It is not true. A doctor is compassionate, kind, understanding, and respectful to the child, to the patient. They are not good doctors.
Now, every coin has two sides.
Yeah.
So, we said being a doctor is the most respected profession. That's absolutely true. But what are the challenges involved in it? What kind of challenges you face? Because maybe during your early age now things are settled. But what are the challenges that you have faced in life? Because our viewers should know that also while choosing a career.
First of all, as a pediatrician, I will come out with my challenges. First of all, the child cannot speak for herself or himself. So they have to depend upon, we have to ask the questions to the parents. So the pediatric section, it is very tricky. We have to find out the child is only crying. So we have to identify.
Absolutely right. Because हम लोग तो बोल पाते हैं. और mother अपने according बताएगी ना.
Yes.
But बच्चा बेचारा से
child can be crying because of earache, because of some kind of throat ache, because of a tummy ache. So we have to cover all the aspects. We just cannot hurry it up. We have to evaluate the child, palpate, auscultate, then reassure the mother, then review the child. So as the challenges as a pediatrician, then when they have that kind of atmosphere in the school or in the houses where there is so much of being peer pressure, they want to just show off. So the child has 8 or 10 geometry boxes. So the other child who does not even have one, we like to tell that child, but the child who is coming to us, they come not with these problems. That is the problem has to be solved by the teachers or the mothers and the grandparents.
Yeah.
So, and the challenges as a doctor is a healthcare system. The healthcare is getting expensive every day. And the government sector also the doctors are highly stressed because we have to meet a lot kind of population. The population explosion is also going around. People's stressful. I mean, they get anxious and then they roughen up the doctor also. Because the attentive time, the patient has literally, gone through the society. The road rages and the doctor rages, we are hearing every day. Then the healthcare system is like that. So everyone wants a very good treatment, but then it comes with a huge price. Just like a
standard of living has been increased.
Yes.
Everything is becoming expensive.
And then misinformation. Sometimes we say that this kind of talks they have. Sometimes the talks are scary. Sometimes the processing is this thing that they want to, for the increasing their viewership, they want to put a false statement, and that kind of always gets viral. The negative news always spreads faster.
If you want to find them to track
Exactly, because negativity is attracted everywhere. A black color, a negative person, he's her, or he or she. They are speaking loudly. They are So this kind of misinformation now, a vaccine, the vaccination, which we like to administer to all the children. The government has taken a good initiative by vaccinating the child, going for polio drops, going for this everything, strong campaigns for vaccinating the child. There are some vaccines which are available, but they come with a price. So for that, the parents have to go to the doctor, and that is a different theory that they should not be listening to the meds, and actually let the doctor speak and let the doctor decide, and then you can decide whether you want to take another opinion. But one should not say that these are not necessary, because that is a misinformation. So this is again, this is a challenge, yes. So the cost of this thing, the working hours of the doctors, they're long, very stressful. Sometimes they make me get up at 2 o'clock in the night. That you are a family doctor. Now we have to get up. And the early morning, the patient who comes at 4 o'clock, I cannot be telling that patient that I slept late. And moreover, I have to keep a very smiling face and affable at least.
That is there already.
So these things, they really build you. And if you're prepared for all this, go and become a doctor. So my parents, we always, at that kind of time, we always felt that only becoming a doctor and making some money and making it follows. If you are doing your good work,
it comes as a byproduct.
It comes as a byproduct. You don't chase success, you chase perfection. You chase your good work, keep on doing it, and success follows.
Very nice. So there will be a lot of students who want to become child doctor.
Yeah.
उनको क्या करना है MBBS के बाद?
Yeah, and after exam, cracking the MBBS NEET, then they are admitted to the MBBS degree, which is for 4.5 years of
5 years. No, it's generally said.
No, it is 4.5 years of actively studying. There are 3 professional course years. 1.5 years, 1.5 years, and 1.5 years. That means makes it 4.5 years. Then 1 year of internship.
Okay, so it's 5.5.
It's 5.5 years. Then comes the preparation for the post-graduation exam, PG entrance. PG entrance also, we have to come through a NEET examination. Some, for example, CNC or already executive job, or some private hospitals, not private, I will say, some have an autonomous body, but now they all have to come through a uniform system, a NEET examination. So after clearing your NEET examination, then also you have to make your preferences, and that comes in the counseling. For example, you have, that also depends on your marks. You cannot be choosing all the time. I want to be a demand, I want to be a
depends on your marks, then only you get the same.
And it depends on counseling. What seats were available, and then
percentage
and how many students were kind of opting for that particular seat.
Okay. Suppose there are 60 seats and you cut off, it all depends on your cut off.
Now it is a 3 years MD. In our time it was 1 year house job and 2 years MD. That made it 3 years. So now it has a 3 years course. So that is you can choose your pediatrics because where I tell my children, people who listen to me, children who are brought to me for counseling, that you have to be really, really prepared for this long journey as a pediatrician. For all the specialties, but especially you have to be very empathetic. You have to love your job, and you have to make a connect somewhere and leave an imprint.
So almost a decade of studying.
Almost decades or more than that, because you may not clear your PG exam in 1 year. It may take another 1 year. I will say go and make multiple attempts, but don't give up on your dream.
There is no cap
on this thing. You can become a doctor, you can become a super specialist, you can, it's your journey.
And how is this MD different than diploma is also there?
Yeah, diploma is for it's a DCH in this thing. Diploma is again less of time. So for example, MD is for 3 years, diploma is for 1.5 years, or sometimes 2 years.
And not many of the students feel being a pediatrics is all about clinical study. Is it like that?
Yeah, it is not about clinical only. Pediatrics means that we can still follow our dreams. We can take up a teaching job in the medical college.
It is not just a clinical,
not just a clinical, because so many medical colleges and they all want professors there, teachers there to teach you. Then in the schools, and so many early colleges as well, where adolescent children are there. So, a job of pediatrician is going visiting a school, seeing patients, because more or less it's a clinical. It's a clinical practice only. We cannot sit inside and not make the connect. We have to connect to the patient, which is a child, or right from the day 1 to day 80. To year 80. So this is now pediatrics also has been further, like it is adolescent medicine, infectious diseases, this thing, yes, neurology. इसकी बहुत super specialty हो गई. Pediatric cardiologist, like pediatric hepatologist, liver का doctor, pediatric surgeon, or pediatric neurologist.
दूसरे सर्जन है बच्चों का नहीं कर सकते सर्जरी
वो I will say they are little aggressive in their approach. Pediatric surgeons are meant to deal with the pediatric population. So that's how we go. That is how it is.
I still remember, ma'am, जो मेरे doctor थे, that I used to go. I turned up at team and I kept going to her. So she said, तुम बड़े हो गए हो दूसरे डॉक्टर के पास जाओ. मुझे आपके पास अच्छा लगता है. So that is the connect. I think
it was early in life, at an impressionable age, that doctors are there. They bond with us, and sometimes the children, when they are, little, say they are 10 standard and they are not sure what they want to become, they come to me and they say, hey, parents are saying this, but I want to be like you. So that is very heartwarming. That is very heartwarming. Sometimes they want to tell me that we are not a study. We have to follow this thing. One patient of mine, she said, I want to be an influencer. Because they're impressionable mind, they think influencers are making a lot of money.
Yeah.
So this is also, I risked, because being a doctor, I said, okay, you study hard, and then when you have some kind of degree to fall back upon. Like I don't know about these newer
age careers, making a lot of money now. To be honest,
and they are showing it on the this OTT platform, the YouTube, that has a success journey. Even the content is nothing.
Yeah, there is no content, but still, they just want to populate the
minds, yes. Pollute. So, and unreasonable, not every child becomes an influencer. So, the influencer, fine, I respect the influencers, but they also have to undertake so much journey. There's a lot of competition there, I suppose.
Yes.
But in our times,
it's not very easy to get good views for the content. Nowadays, people have become active, they're educated also.
So education is very important. The foremost of any strata of this thing, society, wherever it is taking you, it is the basic foundation, it is the education.
Yes. And ma'am, these days AI is everywhere.
Yeah.
Like we talk about artificial intelligence, and healthcare is not an excuse; it is already here. So, what do you have to say about AI? How is it being implemented in the hospitals, and are you using some of the things?
Yeah, AI has come a big way, and the newer things which we are learning also. But as a pediatrician, I still go. There's a robotic surgery, going on, and so many newer approaches. So AI is helping in a big way. But for the doctor, ultimately, we have to connect to the patient. AI
There are a lot of robots who are performing the surgery.
That's okay.
Do you believe that in future it is going to replace the doctors?
No, but the doctors are operating the robots. The robots they cannot go on their own. They are not programmed. It's still this thing is in the hand of the doctors.
But in the future, ma'am, do you feel it would be
the science is approaching? I mean, it's kind of taking you there. But then the doctor's role is never going to be out of this thing. Because ultimately, why they are called healers? The approach they are going to, whether you need an operation or no, ultimately a doctor's word still is kind of a gospel truth.
Oh, yes.
You have to touch the patient, you have to feel the child, you have to feel the pulse. Why do you say you feel the pulse? No AI will do that. So some things, the doctor's profession that goes in the form of say, that's why healing is an age-old. Now, we emotionally, psychologically, at every level, the students, the teachers, the parents, they all need have had a reassurance, especially from their doctor.
Yes. कि आपने डॉक्टर वही मैं कह रही हूँ ना
कि आपने ये बोला था
भगवान का दूसरा रूप है आप लोग and God is really kind to you.
Yeah.
But yes, all these things come with a lot of hard work, effort, or it's every day. Every day.
It's not about that आज मैंने hard work कर लिया, आज काम हो गया, चलना हो गया. It's a new life is throwing new challenges at you every day.
और अगर challenges नहीं हो तो मजा नहीं आता.
तो मजा नहीं आता, one gets bored.
ये तो ठीक है कि not living. अच्छा मैम एक स्टूडेंट अब जो 11th या 12th में है और हमारा पॉडकास्ट उसने सुन लिया है और उसको थोड़ा सा अगर डर लग रहा है कि यार इसको बड़ा ही ज्यादा पढ़ना पड़ेगा ऐसा कुछ तो उसको आप क्या एडवाइस देना चाहेंगे मैं आपके वर्ड्स में सुन
एज अ डॉक्टर आई विल से कि जब डर लगता है ना हमारे टाइम में होता था दैट्स अ लॉन्ग वो डेकेड लग जाता है ऐसे हो जाता है बट आई विल से that after you clear your NEET examination, after you get great good marks in this thing, not marks are still not, you have this thing around 65%, it's got to sit in that NEET. You have to have that kind of percentage. But it is only a one exam shot. Once you enter a medical school, you are bound to become a doctor.
एक बार ही एग्जाम क्लियर करिए आप तो डॉक्टर बन सकते हैं
एग्जाम एक बार में क्लियर कर लिया दो बार में कर लिया तीन बार में यू आर इन दैट लाइन है और जो आई विल से टू बीबीए या बीए नथिंग अगेंस्ट देम जो आर्ट्स वाला सेक्शन इफ यू डू योर ग्रेजुएशन यू आई मीन ऑटोमेटिकली गो टू पोस्ट ग्रेजुएशन 3 years and 2 years
बट यहाँ पे नहीं है ना यहाँ पे सिर्फ एग्जाम नहीं ये पीजी पार्ट यस
बट उसमें भी आपको अच्छा अगर कोई अच्छे कॉलेजेस में जाना है जो आईवी लीग के कॉलेजेस है उसमें भी एग्जाम्स हैं उसमें भी आपके मार्क्स हैं जस्ट डोंट गो लाइक दैट उसके बाद अगर आपको फिर क्या आपने पढ़ना है फर्दर आपको पढ़ाई करनी है कोई रिसर्च करनी है तो 8 से 9 साल उनमें भी लग जाते हैं एंड देन देयर इज नो शॉर्टेज कुछ शॉर्टेज तो नहीं है ना कि आप डॉक्टर के नाम में यहाँ तो आपको शॉर्ट नहीं है कि आप डॉक्टर के नाम में
ऐसे नहीं बड़ी चलेंगे तो आप डॉक्टर बन के बाद
डॉक्टर बन के निकलोगे और फिर आपका माइंड ऐसे हो जाएगा कि आपको आगे की चीजें चैलेंजेस नहीं लगेंगी
और आप ये देखो ना कि आपको इतनी लंबी प्रैक्टिस करनी है कि आपके पास 3 जनरेशन का है
या वो तो one gets lucky and if you have to love your if you have to again love your profession you love your children तो ये मेरे कोई बोलते थे my daughter my both children they are doctors और उनके spouses भी doctors हैं
so it's a doctor's
family तो उनके पास आता है कि भी आप I mean, how you will see. So I said कि अभी क्या hobby है, आपका क्या passion है. I said seeing a child go home after discharge बच्चा was sick आया, very critical child. When we go every day and see the patient, सुबह शाम battling with life and going home healed. That is the biggest reward for a doctor.
क्योंकि मैम आजकल ना बच्चे हैं भी एक बच्चा दो ज्यादा से ज्यादा दे आर वेरी वेरी क्लोज टू आवर उनको एक छींक भी आती है हमें कुछ होता है तो आप ये चीज समझ पा रहे हैं दैट्स द मोस्ट ब्यूटीफुल थिंग क्योंकि एक एम्पैथी है डॉक्टर में आपके जैसे तो बहुत एक अच्छी चीज है चलो मैम थोड़ा सा मूड को लाइट करते हैं कोई रैपिड फायर क्वेश्चन आई वुड लाइक टू आस्क यू सो just answer whatever first thing comes to your mind right tea or coffee morning or night
Morning.
Your favorite childhood memory?
My favorite childhood memory is running around with my long-time friends and cutting flowers.
Oh, so sweet. One word for pediatrics.
It is love of my life.
I was about to say love, ma'am will say very sure. Nice. I'm also getting into them. One quality every doctor must have.
One quality.
Just one.
Compassion.
One quality every parent should have.
Some kind of patience.
One healthy habit every child should have.
Early to bed and early to rise.
Healthy wise one.
Yes.
Success means?
Success means healed patient.
Right. Happiness means?
Happiness means putting some smile on a very poor patient and making them confident that they can revisit me without any fear of fee.
Philanthropic doctor. So nice.
That is my happiness quotient because they give you so much of, I would say, good wishes, du'aein, that everything is unmatchable. Anything is unmatchable. So, ये जो phrase है दुआएं जो आपको दी हैं, so that makes you, it is so fulfilling that you start loving your job all over again.
So sweet. मैम कोई बुक आपको सजेस्ट करनी हो उसको रीड करो तो क्या one book everyone should read.
One book. I will start saying Bhagavad Gita. कि चाहे आप उसको सब कुछ ना पढ़ पाओ उसका अध्याय 4 पे जो 13, 14, 15, 16 श्लोक है और एक लास्ट अध्याय में है अगर उसी को आप आत्मचिंतन कर लो उसको रीड कर लो और उसको ही आप कीप ऑन
स्टार्ट कर देनी चाहिए
भगवत गीता जो उसका चाहे अगर वो नहीं कर सकते घर में कुछ ना कुछ कहीं ना कहीं होना चाहिए इसको that leaves a long lasting impression on everyone's mind. It's not a religious book. It's a आजकल की बुक है कलयुग की.
So हमारे स्क्रिप्चर्स बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है सी हम कहते हैं ना डॉक्टर पूरे रैशनल होते हैं हम देखो आप एक डॉक्टर के डॉक्टर से हम सुन रहे हैं कि इन केस यू टू रीड अ बुक रीड भगवद गीता उसके बाद उसके अंदर सारे तरह के आंसर्स हैं जो आपको मिलेंगे. मैम वी वुड लाइक टू एंड दिस एपिसोड द करियर कंपास एंड जस्ट इमेजिन अगर लाइफ में एक कंपास होता जो मैं डिफरेंट डायरेक्शंस के बारे में गाइड करता तो आपका नॉर्थ डायरेक्शन क्या है कि जहाँ आगे बढ़ सको वो क्या है आपके लिए?
मेरा है फिटनेस की तरफ
वेरी वेरी
एंड आई अभी भी मेरे जो गोल्स हैं टू स्टे हेल्दी एंड फिट both mentally and physically so that I enjoy my second phase of life and not be a burden on anyone.
Lovely. So dear parents, please understand that in case you want to give anything in return to your children, just give them your good health. Because हम लोग इस टाइम पे यही सोच रहे होते हैं that our parents should be in good health. उनको कोई problem ना आए, so that is what ma'am has rightly said.
Thank you. To blossom.
Yeah.
We can't help out.
Absolutely. Thank you so much,
Yeah,
ma'am.
thank you.
It was lovely having you.
Yeah.
And dear viewers, please understand these are all unfiltered conversations, and we are on and on from last 1 hour. और पता भी नहीं चला. I'm really grateful, indebted from the core of my heart. और मैं सच में expect करती हूँ कि जो भी बच्चे आने वाले टाइम में डॉक्टर्स बनना चाहते हैं, please look up to her life. She was Dr. Ritu Gupta, a senior pediatrician at Raghunath Hospital, Ludhiana, who has got an experience of more than 4 decades. से कर रहे हैं, उन्होंने 3 generations आज तक handle कर लिए हैं. Thank you so much, ma'am. हमारे देश को एक्चुअल में जरूरत है आप जैसे डॉक्टर्स की, जो सिर्फ पेशेंट्स को दवा लिख के नहीं दे रहे हैं, बट उनको कंपैशन के साथ सुन रहे हैं, समझ रहे हैं, एंड कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि कम दवाई दें.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
एक दो